Too loud. Too loud. Let's fast forward this. I know we gonna make. Let's fast forward a little bit more. This is where I am destined to be. I'm not ready to give up the fight. The miracle of life. Life's a play with no rehearsal. Sing this. Sing it, y'all. No, bro. Come on, at the top of your lungs. Cause the devil is a lie. Hey, I'm telling you the truth. Hey, it's all in what you do. Hey, so what you gotta do. Hey. Barbershop Conversations, man. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. So more news to follow, man. We got some updates coming soon as it relates to what's going on with me and Fox and PBC. I'll have some more news for you later in the week. But the hot topic of the day is the PBC belt. Let's talk about it. Now, let's jump into the short end of the stick before we get into the long end of the stick. The long end of the stick is we finally get one belt as boxing fans, right? Finally get one belt, one champion. As Deontay Wilder say, one champion, one face, one name, right? And sounds good, right? What else? No more sanctioning fees. Oh, man, thank you, Jesus, right? No more take the power out of the sanctioning body's power. Phase those belts out and just have one champion like the UFC, and then you'll work your way down like they have in wrestling to the Intercontinental Champion, the Tag Team Champions, and so on and so forth, because it only makes sense because it keeps everything intrigued, right? But before I get into that, you know what I found very, very telling? I found very, very interesting, and this is why y'all come to my channel. But because the devil's in the details. What Nip say?
Let my tent to B12. Double check the details. Gotta cross my T's and dot my I's or I can't sleep well.
Hey, you want to hear a funny story? What happened today? So I'm getting a big piece done, right? A one of one, right? You guys are gonna love it. It'll be here. It's gonna take about 60 days to do. And I'm talking to my illustrator, and come to find out, he did 10 of Nipsey's tattoos. How funny is that? And when you guys see the piece, it's all gonna make sense. It's my Christmas present to myself. It's a great piece. It's gonna be right behind there. I'm gonna start getting some. But anyways, man, as I digress, I was listening to his name is Billy Wagner from Fox. What I found very, very telling is that he released the news. And if he released the news, my question is, why didn't Tim Smith release that news? Why didn't anyone else from PBC release the news? And you say, why, how, and where? That goes to show you who has the power and who's releasing the news. So by all intents purposes, Fox has a lot of power as it relates to PBC. I'm not sure if they actually sold it or they have a governing body above everyone that we see at fights. I have no idea. I can't answer that question. But I thought that was very telling that PBC on the ground looks like they work, but the cabinet, the governing cabinet, is Billy Wagner and Al Heyman and whoever else is on the board as it relates to making decisions. I would have thought that Tim Smith would have broken that news as it relates to what's going on with PBC because he's the president of communications for PBC. But that may just be a title and not an actual like really thing, because I've never met this man before, but it goes to show you who has the power at PBC. But let's jump into this really, really quick. Short term, I love it. Like, I actually love the fact that we're gonna have one champion. Like, man, thank you, Jesus. And the fighters don't have to pay sanctioning fees. And now you can walk into a barbershop and say, hey, Deontay Wilder is the heavyweight champion of the world. Earl Spence is the welterweight champion of the world. Gary Russell is the featherweight champion of the world. You guys get what I'm saying? And It sounds beautiful. It sounds poetic, and it's on the road to trajectory. But here's where it gets stymie because they're going to have a season, right? Fox owns the rights to the NFL. It's Sundays. It's it's NFL Sunday today. UFC was on Fox, I believe. Now they're on ESPN. They have one belt, I believe, and so they're going to have what we call a season, right? Follow me for a second. Now, if they have a season, where are the athletes' benefits? That's the key component to this. And I need y'all to really grasp and understand, where's the pension? Where's the health care? Where's the retirement? You understand what I'm saying? And um, if you're going to have a season, if Fox is going to treat this like a season, the fighters need to form a union. And if the fighters do not form a union, I don't know what's going to happen to you, because I really, in my heart of hearts, and you guys help me if I'm wrong, I don't know 5 fighters outside of the sport after they retired that are, you know, multi millionaires as what they made while they were fights, because there's no $20 million lick when you're 45 years old and you're retired from boxing. You know what I mean? You can't just wake up and say, hey, I'm gonna go cut weight and fight for $10 million. You can't do that. You know, your return on investment is not that high. You understand what I'm saying? So I think it's just incredibly important that we see the long term in this. I like the concept of one champion. Like that's just beautiful. You understand what I love that. But what I don't like is, tell me 5 fighters you know that are retired, speaking well, healthy, um, and and um, and living their best life. You know, like every fighter will have some paralysis, and like Deontay Wilder said, the brain ain't meant to shake like that. You know, you hear it in many fighters. Let's just talk about the most notable: Meldrick Taylor, Fernando Vargas now, um, Thomas Hearns, Tommy Hearns, as your grandfather knew him as, um, Shane Mosley. Um, where are their millions of dollars? They don't have no $1 million come up now, and they don't have a pension, and they don't have health care. And if you're going to fight for this belt, PBC fighters, you need to form a union. And it's incredibly important that you do. If you do not form a union, and all the Javier Fortunas, the Adrian Granados, the Robert Guerreros, the um, you know, like the Robert Easters of the world, um, the list goes on, right? The John Molinas, the guys that won't be superstars but made great livings playing boxing, and it works its way down. How are you going to make your money once you say, I can't physically do this anymore? What's up? That's not a word. Let me finish making this video and we can finish. NOE? That's not a word, man. Let me finish this video, man. I'll be back. Oh, you did? Oh, it's probably an acronym. What's an acronym, right? I'll tell you in a second. All right, let me finish this video. Okay, you can stay here. No big deal. So what I'm saying is, without a union, fighters are gonna be stuck. You understand what I'm saying? And I think it's just incredibly important that fighters see the long term. If you're gonna go through a grueling season, because as you can see, they tried it in the welterweight division. They're doing it in the 154-pound division, and they're basically adopting it in the heavyweight division. If especially if Andy Ruiz beats Anthony Joshua, then you have your heavyweight champion of the world. You understand what I'm saying? When I'm done with the video, I'll let you come back. Okay. Okay. so let me finish this video. So you can sit on my lap. No big deal.
Hello.
so so what I'm saying is um fighters, be cognizant of it. Create a union. I don't know what fighter you would trust. I don't know who has the most experience because you got to be careful because like in any type of thing, money trumps everything. So you got to have a one with high character, high integrity that can be the president. But if PBC fighters don't create a union, the same thing that PBC and Fox and Al Heyman are doing on the business side, y'all can do on the fighter side. You understand? And then everyone's happy because what's going to happen is you guys are going to be 35 and realize you're going to have some paralysis. You're going to have some health issues. You're going to be arthritic. Um, uh, you, you're going to have some type of shoulder injuries. You're going to have some type of leg injuries. You know, your liver and your kidney may not be functioning right. You may have some brittle hands, and the list goes on and on and on. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a union, and if you don't create a union, PBC fighters, it's going to be detrimental long term. So um, um, you've seen it in NFL players, um, and you see it in wrestlers today. You know, but form a union, and that's my suggestion. But long term, and then I said about the fans, we may not get the fights we want because remember the NWO and the WWF when we were kids. Watch your feet, please. Remember the NWO and the NWO, the W. Remember the WWF and Ric Flair and Sting over there. Remember we was praying for Hulk Hogan versus Sting, and it never happened. That's what we may get long term because ain't no way. Let me finish this video. So, um, so long term, because you know Bob Arum, yeah, when you're blowing this going into the mic. So you funny. Man. I'm gonna let you talk. You want to talk when I'm done? Yeah. All right. So let me finish. I got 1 more minute. Okay. Yeah. So 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 full time dad, man. So anyway, so what I'm saying is this: we didn't get Ric Flair in his prime versus Hulk Hogan. Yeah. We didn't get Sting versus the Ultimate Warrior in their prime. You understand what I'm saying? And we may not get that because Bob Arum is not selling top rank. Eddie Hearn will not minimize himself at the zone. All right. And we already know Oscar is, you know, what I mean, he's definitely not doing so. Be aware, be cognizant, fighters. I'll do a follow-up video to remind y'all, but y'all need to form a union. You understand? So, anyways, barbershop conversations, man. Feel free, hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Any last thing you want to say, buddy?
Thank you. I love you, poo poo heads and pee pee heads. I love you. Well, bye bye.
You love him? You're a great kid.
Daddy, look up at the spider web up there. Daddy, look up at the spider web up